The center of a group. Next is the definition of the center of a group. The center of a group G is denoted by set of G, and that is defined as set of all G element of G such that Gx is equal to Xg for all X element of G. That means if an element G belongs to center of G, then Gx is equal to Xg for all X element of G. That means G commute with every element in G. So center of G contains those elements that commute with every element in G. Okay. Next, the conjugacy class of X element of G. If we take an, it is a definition of conjugacy class. We take an element from G, small x, and the conjugacy class of X is defined as set of those elements Y in G such that Y can be written as G x G inverse for some G element of G. So the conjugacy class of an element X in G contains those elements Y that can be expressed in the form Gx G inverse for some G element of G. Okay. Next is a remark. Center of G is an abelian normal subgroup of G. This is important. Center of G is abelian and a normal and a subgroup of G. Next remark is very important. G element of center of G if and only if conjugacy class of G is set to G. That means if an element G belongs to center of G, then its conjugacy class. We define the conjugacy class of an element here. Then the if G is an element in center of G, then the conjugacy class contains only the element G itself. So the conjugacy class is set G. The converse is also true. If the conjugacy class of an element is set that single element, then that element belongs to center of G. Okay, from this we can claim that, so that order of center of G is the number of conjugacy classes of cardinality 1, because here it states that if an element belongs to center of G, its conjugacy class has cardinality 1, and converse also true. If an element has conjugacy class of cardinality 1, then that element belongs to center of G. So center of G contains those elements whose conjugacy class has cardinality 1. So order of center of G means it is a number of conjugacy classes of cardinality 1. Next, there are groups with center of G is equal to set 1. For example, center of S3 is equal to set 1. There exist some groups with center of G contains only the identity element. For example, the symmetric group S3. The center contains only 1. Okay. Next is the definition of centralizer of a group. Let G be a group. The centralizer of an element X element of G. We take an element X from G and define the centralizer of that element, and that is defined as that Cg of X, and that is set of all G element of G such that Gx is equal to Xg. So the centralizer of an element is the set of those elements in G that commute with X. So centralizer of X is set of those elements in G that commute with X. Gx is equal to Xg, those G. So centralizer of an element is the set of all those elements in G that commute with that element. Okay. So centralizer of X is set of all elements in G that commute with X. Okay. Okay. Next remark. Cg of X is a subgroup of G for each X element of G. For each X element of G, the corresponding centralizer is a subgroup of G. The next remark is very important. It is a relation between the conjugacy class and the centralizer of an element. Okay, if we take X element of G, then we have already seen the definition of conjugacy class of X. So the number of conjugates of X. Number of conjugates of X means number of elements in the conjugacy class of X. That is defined as index of G. Index of G is to Cg of X. That is index of G over H. Okay. This is defined as order of G by order of Cg of X by definition of index. Okay. So this is a relation between the conjugacy class of X and the centralizer. Number of conjugates of X is same as index of Cg of X in G. Okay. Next is the lemma G22. We apply all these result in lemma G22. Okay. If P is a prime and G not equal to set 1 is a P group, then center of G not equal to set 1. So we are given a group G that is not the trivial group. Okay. G not equal to set 1 is a P group. P group means order of G is the power of P. That is P raised to n for some n. Order of G is P raised to n for some n. That means G is a P group. Okay. then we have to prove center of G not equal to Z1. So if G is a P group, then we have to prove center of G not equal to Z1. For that, we partition G into its conjugacy classes. Okay. Since in the remark we have seen this result. Since G element of center of G, if and only if the conjugacy class of G is set to G, then the elements with conjugacy class of cardinality 1 are contained in set G. So if an element belongs to center of G, then its conjugacy class has cardinality 1. So elements with conjugacy class of cardinality 1 are contained in center of G. From this remark we got this. Okay, so there is a disjoint union. So we partition G. Partition means partition of a set means it is the we can express it as a union of some sets, and these are union of some disjoint sets. Okay, so there is using conjugacy classes we partition G as a disjoint union. G can be written as center of G. Center of G contains those elements whose conjugacy class of cardinality 1. Union C1, union C2, union etc. union CT. So the elements whose conjugacy class of cardinality 1 are contained in center of G. Okay, then look at C1 union C1 C2 etc. CT, where Ci are the conjugacy class of cardinality larger than 1. Okay, now Ci denote the conjugacy class of cardinality larger than 1. All other conjugacy classes are listed here, and conjugacy classes have a property that the conjugacy classes are all disjoint. The conjugacy class of a group are always disjoint. So this is a disjoint union. Center of G contains conjugacy class of cardinality 1. So center of G, C1, C2, etc. CT are all disjoint, mutually disjoint set, and G can be written, as a union of all these elements. Okay. So from this, since it is a disjoint union, from this relation, order of G can be written as order of center of G plus order of C1 plus order of C2 plus etc. plus order of CT. Since all these sets are disjoint, we can write this. Okay, then we take an element xi. Okay, if xi belongs to Ci, xi belongs to the conjugacy class Ci, then by remark 2 states that if the number of conjugacy class of x is, okay, if xi element of Ci, then if we use remark 2 here, the number of conjugacy the number of conjugates of xi. The number of conjugates of xi means xi belongs to Ci, then number of conjugates of xi means order of the conjugacy class Ci. So order of Ci, and by remark 2 it can be written as index of G over Cg of xi. Okay. So thus in this result, order of G is equal to order of center of G plus order of C1 plus order of C2. That can be rewritten as order of G is equal to order of center of G plus C1. Order of C1 is index of G over Cg of x1 plus order of C2 is index of G over Cg of x2 plus etc. plus index of G over Cg of xt. So it can be written using summation as order of G is equal to order of center of G plus sigma I is equal to 1 to T index of G over Cg of xi. Okay. Since xi element of Cg of xi element of Ci means Cg of xi. Okay. Xi element of Cg of xi not an element of center of G, because all these sets are disjoint. Center of G and C1, C2, Cg of x1, Cg of x2 are all disjoint sets. So xi element of Cg of xi, then xi not an element of center of G. That implies Cg of xi not equal to G. Since xi element of Cg of xi and xi not an element of center of G, Cg of xi and G are disjoint sets. Therefore, index of G over Cg of xi not equal to 1. Index of G over Cg of xi is order of G by order of Cg of xi. So these are not same sets. So their order must be different. So it is not equal to 1. By Lagrange's theorem, okay, we know Lagrange's theorem. Lagrange's theorem states that order of a subgroup divides the order of a group. Okay, but in this textbook it is stated in this manner. If H is a subgroup of G, then order of G is index of G over H into order of H. It is true because from we know that index of G over H is order of G by order of H. If we substitute in place of index of G over H, order of G by order of H, then that into order of H, then this order of H cancels and becomes order itself. So the result is true. Okay, so by Lagrange's theorem states like this here in this textbook. So in place of H, we use Lagrange's theorem with Cg of xi. then it becomes order of G is equal to index of G over Cg of Xi into order of Cg of Xi. From this, order of index of G over Cg of Xi can be written as order of G by order of Cg of X. Okay, now we know that order of Cg of Xi not equal to 1 because we have taken C1, C2. C1 is Cg of X1. Okay, so we have taken C1, C2 as conjugacy classes with cardinality larger than 1. So order of Cg of Xi not equal to 1, and we know that Cg of Xi not equal to G. Okay, Cg of Xi is not the full group G because it is conjugacy class of G. So it is not the full group G. Okay, and since index of Cg of X, order of Cg of Xi not equal to 1 because we have taken Cg of Xi or Ca as classes with cardinality greater than 1, and here we got Cg of Xi not equal to G. Okay, from that Cg of Xi not equal to G, order of Cg of Xi is divisible by P. We know that centralizer, from the remark, centralizer is a subgroup of G. So here that subgroup Cg of Xi is order not equal to 1 and Cg of Xi not equal to G. So Cg of Xi is a subgroup of G and G has order P raised to n. So order of Cg of Xi must be P raised to something, some P raised to m where m is less than n. So order of Cg of Xi is divisible by P. It is a multiple of P, so it is divisible by P. Order of G is also divisible by P. In the theorem it is given that G is a P group. So order of G is P raised to n. So order of G is also divisible by P. So if we consider index of G over Xi, here it is written as order of G by order of Cg of Xi, and order of G is divisible by P, and order of Cg of Xi is also divisible by P. And Cg of Xi not equal to G, so order of Cg of Xi is less than order of G. Okay, and order of Cg of Xi is divisible by P. So when we divide here, we get another index of Cg of Xi as a multiple of P, because order of G is some P raised to n and order of Cg of Xi is some P raised to m where m is less than n. So when we cancel each other, it is also a power of P. Okay, so index of that implies index of Xi is divisible by P. Okay, and we have already written here order of G is order of center of G sigma index of G over Cg of Xi. From that, order of center of G can be written as order of center of G is equal to order of G minus sigma I is equal to 1 to T index of G over Cg of Xi. We have proved that order of G is divisible by P and also index of Cg of Xi. So here order of G is divisible by P and each index of G over Cg of Xi is divisible by P. So sum is also divisible by P. So these two quantities are divisible by P. Hence we can say order of center of G is also divisible by P. Okay. Since order of center of G is divisible by P, center of G not equal to Z1. Center of G, order of center of G is also power of P or a multiple of P. So center of G not equal to Z1. This is what we have to prove. Okay.